Dead Boy Detectives, a Spider-Man horror film, and Bad CGI Gator, all on this Wednesday edition of Spill the Guts.
I like it spooky.
Hello and welcome. My name is Clint, and I am one half of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast, which, looking ahead to this weekend, will be releasing a new episode of Mishmash with your host, Leah Stalker of Pure Macabre, this coming Saturday. And looking at today is bringing you some of the latest horror genre news, as today is Wednesday, November 15th, and this just in. First story of the day comes from iHorror.com, reporting that Netflix has recently released the first glimpses of its much-anticipated series, Dead Boy Detectives. Originally destined for Max, this series brings to life the intriguing world created by Neil Gaiman and Matt Wagner in their Vertigo comics. The heart of the show lies in its two main characters, Edwin Payne and Charles Rowland, portrayed by George Rextrew and Jaden Reverie, respectively. These characters are both best friends and ghosts who delve into solving paranormal cases in the mortal realm. An interesting aspect of Dead Boy Detectives is its connection to the Sandman universe. The characters, first introduced in Gaiman's Sandman comics in the early 1990s, find a new life in this series. Initially developed for Max as part of DC Universe plans, the series found its way to Netflix after a strategic reshuffle at Warner Bros. Discovery. The series is described as a thrilling adventure where the Dead Boy Detectives Agency tackles various supernatural dilemmas. With no premiere date set yet, anticipation is high for Dead Boy Detectives. The series promises to be a unique addition to Netflix's roster, blending mystery, supernatural elements, and the creative genius of Neil Gaiman, and you can click over to the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast Facebook page right now and view the trailer.
Dead Boy Detectives?
It's Aces, right?
It's just a stupid name.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Next up from iHorror.com this Wednesday is a report about The Walking Dead's Chandler Riggs starring in a Spider-Man horror film. The Walking Dead's Carl has long been deceased in the series. In a major fan upset, the character of Carl was bit, turned, and then killed. The character's death left a lot of Chandler Riggs fans missing Carl. In a recent TikTok from established YouTube director Andy Chen unveiled a Spider-Man project that brings Riggs back to a new fandom. Chen's YouTube films are all horror-based and all very high quality. In his latest TikTok tease, we can see Riggs taking on the role of Peter Parker. We can also see that the film is going to take on a lot of body horror and gore. There isn't any word yet what the story of this latest horror take is pulling from. However, it could be a number of crossovers that comics have seen in the past. A lot of fans are guessing that this is an entry from the popular Marvel Zombies comic arc, but there is still no word for sure as of yet. Riggs has been the guest of a lot of horror conventions, and the actor is constantly being asked when he is likely to return to a larger horror franchise. Well, it looks like this is going to be exactly that. As for the synopsis for Marvel Zombies, the series was written by Robert Kirkman, with art by Sean Phillips and covers by Arthur Sadam. It was the first series in the Marvel Zombies series of related stories. The story is set in an alternate universe where the world's superhero population has been infected with a virus which turned them into zombies. We will have to wait for more details on the project, but a Spider-Man horror film starring Chandler Riggs sounds promising. And it is that time once again to pause for station identification and hear from something else promising, our podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Last story of the day comes to us from BloodyDisgusting.com, who reports that Full Moon Features is headed into the swamplands of Georgia with their next horror movie, this one titled Bad CGI Gator. And at the very least, well, the title isn't lying to you. From Sharknado, to Slither, to Eight-Legged Freaks, to Piranha, our streaming services are saturated with ridiculous flicks featuring extra-large monsters wreaking havoc a la Bad CGI. Now Bad CGI Gator writer Zalman Band, director Danny Draven, and Full Moon Features are taking this pop culture phenomenon and, well, poking fun. In Bad CGI Gator, 6 college grads on spring break get a cabin in the swamplands of Georgia. They decide to throw their school laptops in a backyard lake in an act of youthful defiance, which unknowingly turns a lurking alligator into the dreaded and insatiable Bad CGI Gator. Full Moon's Charles Band said, quote, "I've long been against the overuse of CGI in genre films, and in many ways, this movie is a fun, tongue-in-cheek antidote to that. When done right, CGI is a great tool to accent special effects. When done wrong, well, we get Bad CGI Gator. Experiencing reptile dysfunction? Watch the trailer for Bad CGI Gator on the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast Facebook page." And that's a wrap on your Wednesday news. Don't forget that you can connect with the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast on all mainstream social media outlets, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and join me back here this coming Friday for more news on another edition of Spill the Guts.
Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Show some fucking respect for the dead, will ya?